Well, do you want a conclusion to the Snyderverse? Pretty clear Zack Snyder does. Recently, he had a lot to say about a different path for completing his trilogy of Justice League films. And quite honestly, I think this one has distinct possibilities. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what the director had to say about the return of the DCEU, where this could happen, and why this possibility seems to me to be the best possible path forward for all parties. Let's dive in. Now before we do that though, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC videos, and we want to be your place for all the superhero news, but we're going to bring it to you truthfully and transparently so you are in the know. Well, back in 2021, Zack Snyder's Justice League made its premiere on HBO Max. Now, this came after years of campaigning, and the streaming service took the opportunity during its kickoff to pick up the near-complete film, shell out about $70 million to get it done, and get it over to the platform to try to bring some closure to Zack Snyder's story. Now, we fully expected Snyder to simply finish off this director's cut, but instead, he shot a whole bunch of new scenes and laid the groundwork for several sequels. We later learn about it in storyboard form. We've talked about it several times on this channel. I'll try to link those videos down below. But this story definitely went way out on a limb, seeing Superman fall under Darkseid's control and even having Bruce Wayne hook up and have a baby with Lois Lane. Now, even before DC Studios was formed, the odds on this actually happening were pretty slim, and at this point it seems completely outside of the realm of possibility, although there are plenty of Snyder fans out there who would definitely like to see some sort of finish for the series. This could be in either comic book or animated form, but many people want the tale told. Now, recently, the director was talking to Empire magazine, and he made it super clear he'd love to conclude the Justice League trilogy in animation, saying, yeah, absolutely, that'd be fun, that'd be cool. You guys know we're a pretty big fan of animation here, and given the low cost of Warner Brothers animation direct-to-DVD offerings, quite honestly, there's a huge question on why this path has not already been pursued. Additionally, Zack Snyder has some experience in the realm of animation. Back when Watchmen came out, there was a really cool tie-in called Tales of the Black Freighter. If you've never seen it, it's definitely worth a watch, and quite honestly, a pretty fine addition to that story. Overall, I would totally be down for this possibility to happen. I actually think a conclusion to that story would be interesting and give those fans that have shown the director a lot of dedication, well, some place to see the final end result. Now, this led the conversation down an interesting road, and while Snyder was talking to him, he had some stuff to say that, for me, seemed a little, well, off. He talked a little bit about the controversy surrounding having Batman and Superman kill in his various movies such as Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and the quote he said caught me off guard. He said, "The only reason I'm not surprised is that some people got brainwashed by a bunch of material that's not consistent with true canon, and that's fine, they're on their own journey." Now, I walked away from this quote a bit befuddled, because what is true canon? Quite honestly, his choice to have those characters kill, well, it does happen in portions of the overall stories for each character, but it is absolutely not commonplace for either one, and does serve as somewhat of an antithesis of many stories for both characters. I also quite honestly took issue with him throwing out the term brainwashed, especially when you consider what goes on social media with some of his more extreme fans basically running with ideas that are so far out on a limb and lack possibility that it's often hard not to basically laugh at them. Honestly, I think Snyder likes to stoke the fire with many fans and truly enjoys the attention, even to the point where I wonder sometimes if he's playing his own fans for his own either amusement or ego. Now, at this point, the Snyderverse remains in limbo, and it does feel fairly unlikely that James Gunn will revisit the project again. There's always a distinct possibility that Warner Brothers Animation could bring something together, but at this point, I think all eyes are forward. A lot of future animated DC projects are going to be tied a little closer to the DCU, and the time for Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League may very well have passed us by, but we'll have to wait and see.